Yeah, that wasn't what we signed up for tonight. This is the DLLS Dallas Stars post-game show alongside Craig Ludwig and our little buddy who is now out of the captivity and he's been set free,
Alive.
Sam Nessler. And our producer, Katya, is not on speaking terms. She's talking to us. Don't worry. It's okay. I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, Allie, that was ugly. Boy, I just checked the chat as we were getting ready to start this one. Luddy, you already have an official term here. The officiating was some sugar honey iced tea. But boy, there are a lot of chats already. They were fired up before we even started the show tonight, and I can see why. Luds, I said to you guys in the group text at some point during the game tonight, it's a good thing the Stars probably won't face the Anaheim Ducks in the playoffs. What's going on? They can't seem to figure out how to beat them.
I'll tell you what, Dallas didn't have their A game tonight. I think we can agree with that. But I was probably more impressed with the way that Anaheim played, more so than the way that Dallas didn't play. Yeah, their goaltender was good, but I thought they were an in-your-face team. They took time and space away. They were aggressive in all three zones. They didn't allow too much to happen in front of their own net. So I think sometimes you got to give the other team some credit. And I think in their building, they played a pretty good. They played a game knowing that the opponent that they had, if they gave them too much time and space, that they could hurt them, and the goaltender made some key saves when he needed to.
Hey, Sam, that's 2 games in a row the Stars have come out sleepy against the Ducks, and I don't really like that trend.
No, it's a weird thing. Someone asked me on Twitter during the game, so I went back and looked a little bit at the season. And as much as you don't want to claim a team plays down to their opponent's level, the Stars have some losses this year. Two to Anaheim, they lost to Buffalo, they lost to Montreal, had to go to a shootout to beat Montreal the second time. They have some of those losses where, the Rangers one was another good example where they should come out and probably dominate an inferior opponent, and they've looked slow. And the Ducks ones have been 2 of their worst games of the year. A couple of the Chicago one pops up into mind as well. And that's just a tough trend to have. And tonight, Luds is right. This didn't look good from the start. And the Stars had about maybe 10 minutes of solid play in there. But other than that, they didn't have it tonight. And they needed a break or two that they didn't get in order to get some points.
Boy, they're already firing up the super chats. I love to see it. Keep them coming. We have a big chat segment coming up in segment 3 tonight, and we'll carry it as long as we need to. We're already into Wednesday. By the way, we have a day off, so Luddy doesn't sleep anyway, so we might as well go until you guys are, vented out and feeling a little bit of therapeutic relief from this. So let's get – Allie said it was embarrassing. They couldn't even cycle with the extra attacker on the ice. Let's get to our recap of this one. The Ducks were just – the thing is, guys, I don't think the Stars were sleepy to start. I actually think they looked better than Anaheim at the beginning of the game, and they had quite a few scoring chances. You know what the problem was? They didn't have any high danger chances. It was all outside, perimeter. It wasn't – the one that was closest to something was when Dodonov had that sort of falling down, tried to tip or slap it toward the net, and he missed wide. But otherwise, it was Lindell one-timer from the top of the circle, Ceci from the top of the circle, Lyubushkin from the circle, Lindell again from the high slot, and he missed the net. They just didn't get interior on the Ducks at all in the first period. I had Dallas with a 13-5 edge in scoring chances in the first period, but I had Anaheim at a 3-1 high danger. When they got interior on the Stars, they were the ones that were creating more problems.
For me, that's coaching. I think that this team has been turned around by a coach that's come in there now and gave them a blueprint on how to be successful without having the same kind of caliber players that a Dallas team or a Colorado or one of those elite teams would have, and say we're gonna probably get pretty good goaltending on most nights, but what we've got to do is we've got to try to force as many opportunities from the opponent to be outside that danger zone. And so one way to do that is have more of our guys in our blaze orange hunting vests inside.
GM Sam looks sleepy to start. Wake up, Sam. It's okay.
Sam always sleepy, eh?
Your kidnappers weren't letting you get any rest, were they? So first big chance was Olin Zellweger, who had a shot from the left circle, hit the post. That kind of woke up the crowd and the Ducks a little bit. But then again, Dallas had more chances. They didn't spend a lot of time in their own zone. Yeah, they didn't look really energetic, but they weren't giving up much. And then all of a sudden, Isaac Lundestrom had a backhander at the crease after a Thomas Harley turnover. That's the part that bugged me the most, Luds, of the first period was, yeah, they could have been cleaner. They could have had more energy. It was sloppiness with the puck when they had all the control.
You know what? It's hard sometimes, especially when you're winning some games and things are going well and you're coming out on the right end all the time, and then you get up against an opponent that maybe you don't respect enough, and that thought maybe it would be an easier game, and I think it just came out to bite them.
I'm laughing. Do you see GM Ben is already in the chat? He said segment 4 tonight. Guess what albums are in Ludz's jukebox? He's here to cause some chaos early on. But the big goal early in this one belonged to Cutter Gauthier, and that one was what dictated the first period. He scored with just a hair over 2 minutes to go in the frame, and this started, guys, on a turnover by Colin Blackwell. Some of the fans in the chat were saying they thought that should have been a trip. I didn't think that was a trip. I think he just got pushed down too easily. And Luddy, you had a comment that you made. We're going to talk about the play in front of the net, but even on the turnover, you didn't like how that puck ended deep in the zone.
No, I think it's not always, but it's close to one of those cardinal rules. It's been going around for a long time. Is when a winger gets a puck somewhere around your own hash mark, the one thing you don't want to do is bring it down deep into your zone. And you know, it's one thing if you're below the hash marks and get a little closer to the goal line, and there was really no pressure. He got it. He's a righty. He gets it and he carries it down into his own zone. He goes down deeper. He gets around down by the goal line. And when he turns around, by then, all of a sudden you allow those guys in the orange hunting vests that are down there that low to kind of regroup. And now all of a sudden he's got pressure. That's where the turnover starts. And then when we get closer to the net, do you want to go ahead and describe it so I don't have to get muted?
Go ahead, Sam. You want to give it a shot?
Go ahead.
Well, we have a visual aid, Luds. Would you like to see it and show everybody?
I was in trouble.
Go ahead, Kat. Right. Show that lovely photo of defensive zone coverage that'll make Crown and Coke feel great.
Now,
you're the boy.
If you can see the one, if you could see the one player that has the puck with the orange jersey on, he's got the puck right in front of Jake Oettinger. Take a look at the two Dallas Stars defensemen. Do you think they see that? This is and again, I'm not going to blame these guys. This is what you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to play man on man. And when you play man on man in this area of the ice, a lot of times you turn your back to the play. You turn your back to the dangerous areas. You don't know where people are, but you can say, I've always called it the get out of jail free card because I got my guy and they have their guy. And now all of a sudden there's two other forwards that are trying to chase back into the play too. But at the end of the day, at least Matt Dumba has to be looking around. He's the closest guy to his goaltender, and he's got to be able to find where the puck is and who's got the puck. Well, in this particular circumstance, both Bischel and Matt Dumba are looking in the stands for, I don't know, popcorn. And
Nacho guy.
One thing Gauthier can do is shoot a puck.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam, there's a fun little game in this picture because we can Kat, throw that back up there for just
like
one more second. Bunch. It's a Where's Waldo? Colin Blackwell is in this frame and he's near the crease. Can you see him in this picture?
You can't. I don't think you can actually see him at all in the picture, but I believe he's right in front of Matt Dumba there to the right in front of Jake Oettinger. He's kind of stuck, and yet I think from the other angle I saw, he looks like he is realizing the puck is going out away from where he is.
So, Katya, I don't know if you still have that other picture available that I sent that Luds didn't want to use because he liked this angle better for the defensive ones. But if you do have it, I would love to show that just to show where Blackwell is. Because, Luddy, what happened here is he fell down and turned the puck over. And then as a good defensive forward does, he hustles quickly back to the front of the net to try to help.
There he is.
Unfortunately, this is sort of at the tail end of it. he ends up causing more chaos for Dumba, and I believe that's Fabry in front, and for Oettinger. And so when Gauthier shoots this, Ottinger's just barely picking up the side of this puck. I mean, this is just chaos in front of Jake.
It's a sugar honey iced tea show. That's what it is.
All right, take it away before Lud says something he regrets. That's the goal that led to the 1-0 first period score. Dallas had one more chance, though, and it was the best chance they had all period when Logan Stankoven was found all alone, top of the crease, wide open on the backhander. But you know what? I like this. Kristen just said we should have new T-shirts for DLLS, Sugar Honey Iced Tea Show. That's a great idea for a T-shirt.
They're already in the making. Don't worry.
GM Ben, if you are listening, which you should be, we need this on our official merch store so that our diehards can get this at 20% off. But that save by Gibson, to me, guys, I'll ask Sam. I thought that epitomized the way he played tonight because Stankoven is unmarked. It's a defensive breakdown by the Ducks. He's wide open, and Gibson just doesn't panic, takes away everything. And even though Stankoven has a high danger chance, he makes it look really comfortable.
What he's done against Dallas so many times, him and Dostal and whoever the backup has been for Anaheim, honestly, for a while, it's not always a million saves. We mentioned the game in pregame when he had 40-something saves after 2 periods, but this one tonight, I think he only had 25 saves on 26 shots, but he's very clean. He's very calm, as you just mentioned, super athletic. And I think Logan there also didn't quite realize that he had a little bit of space in front of the net and could have maybe made a quick move. It's a tough spot. It's a quick play. But that's a big save, and that's one that could change the game. I mentioned earlier in this show, the Stars needed a bounce or two in a game like this to get going, get a little momentum, and try to get a point out of it. And this was one of them they could have used.
In the second period, the Stars had some chances, and so did the Ducks. I thought it opened up a bit, especially in the second half of the middle frame. First, it was Jackson Lacombe, who, Luddy, I'm curious your thoughts about this young defenseman. He made on a face-off play, got the puck, did a little spinorama move, and then went to the net, kind of shook his coverage, and forced Oettinger to make a really good save right at the top of the crease. He's got some skill to him, that Jackson Lacombe.
There's some skill throughout this lineup. You know, they've got some young players here, though, that I would think that Pat Verbeek is very happy with what he sees. And I think he's been a patient first-time general manager. And I think he's a guy that, as a player, as a teammate, he wasn't a patient guy. He had a short fuse, but I think he's probably learned a lot from being able to work, you know, with a couple pretty good players that became management also. So I think that Beaker's, by the way, I think he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I do not understand why Pat Verbeek's name has not been mentioned. But I think Beaker's...
You're talking about the Hockey Hall of Fame, right?
I'm talking about the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Big
Which
boy,
other one would we be talking about on this show?
Well, I mean, there is the Dallas Stars Hall of Fame. There's the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. He's Canadian, so it would be the Hockey Hall of Fame.
It would be the Hockey Hall of Fame. Beaker's got over 500 and some goals. He's got a Stanley Cup. He's 3,000 plus minutes and penalties. And so anyway, I think his time spent with some very knowledgeable people in the process becoming a general manager has paid off for him. And I think that he knows how to sell some hope and some patience with a young group.
Hey, Luds, can I ask a question to Luds here?
Sure, go ahead.
Lacombe is a Minnesota Gopher, right? So what I've noticed watching college hockey for the last 5-10 years is a lot of college hockey players, and specifically Big Ten defensemen, look like this. Up the ice, speed.
Yep.
The Cole Hudson's another guy from the Big Ten. Do you see that, and why might that be that they're more of the adventurous offensive type?
I think you have to point directly at USA Hockey and the development of the national programs, the 17, the 18s. Look at the success that they're having, in the tournaments that they're playing in all the time. They're exciting to watch. And I think they recognized years ago that this is the future of hockey. this is how this game is being played. We saw a guy like Quinn Hughes as a defenseman come in the other night, and with all of his skill and talent, and you know what I mean. So I think there's some guys ahead of them that these players that we're seeing, the younger guys that are coming in, they've been watching these players also for the last few years as they were, 14, 15, 16 years old and wanted to get on that same bandwagon, especially when they look at the paychecks that they're getting.
All right, Sam, two things. One, GM Ben says you should raise your hand next time when you want to speak because he's here for chaos. Two, we have to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, though, because you never know what's going to happen. As we saw yesterday, ad reads can leave to cry laughing. We'll do that next on the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show. But we're not actually going to start cry laughing because I actually know what I'm doing and what I'm going to say, unlike Sean, who came up with a completely unrealistic, he might score 1.5 points. I still laughed at that. Go look at our show yesterday. It was hilarious. Let's talk about Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. Now, it's late tonight. It's Stars After Dark, so you don't probably need your sunglasses right now unless you want to rub it in that Luddy doesn't have a pair. But we won't do that because we're nice, and we don't want to keep reminding him that, unfortunately. Well, with Shady Rays, they have the best lost and broken replacements. They such a great customer service deal exclusively for our listeners. Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com. Use the code DLLS for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. And now we're going to talk about Game Time. And then I promise you in the next ad break, Luddy and Sam will pull their weight as well. Game Time is the best way to get tickets to any marquee sporting event, concert, theater show, comedy stand-up. I was actually at a stand-up show this past weekend out in Fort Worth. Got to see Jim Gaffigan the day before he made, I'm sorry, Kat, a Dallas Mavericks joke at the Grammys. I know. Anyway, Game Time Picks has making a great feature on Game Time called Game Time Picks, making getting tickets for events so much easier. It filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. How about the Super Bowl? You can still get tickets in New Orleans. Why not use Game Time to find your best deal? You can look at the seat views before you buy, even on-time ticket delivery, and a lowest price guaranteed. All of that with Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right. You guys have heard enough out of me, so let's go to you. Power play for the Stars. They had a good chance for Wyatt Johnston. Sam, I know you love when he takes the puck out of the corner and goes to the net. That was their first power play of the night. It was middle of the second period. It's still down 1-0. They had another good look from Duchesne, one from Robertson, but I wanted you to be able to talk about that Wyatt chance where he went to the net from the corner.
I just think me and Luds talked ad nauseum about this all season just because I think sometimes the Stars power play is just too complicated, and it's been so good lately. So I'm really not ripping it at the moment. I'm just mentioning why that play has been just such a trigger for me seeing other teams do it. I think this once in a while, just simplifying things and taking it, and why it's such a good player that, I mean, he scored that goal against, I think it was Seattle, that little backhand from no angle over the shoulder in the playoffs last year. He is such a skilled player. Ben is so good at picking corners from in tight. They have guys that can do it. And right now they don't have a threat to hammer a one-timer from the top of a circle. They just don't. They don't attack that way. So getting it down towards the net and attacking from there, I think just feeds into the skill of this team, and I think makes them more successful on power play.
So we go to some other quick chances in the second period, then we'll get to the goals in the third. Vetrano had a good look on a puck that was sent to him. He kind of got it out of his feet and snapped it. It hit pretty high up on the chest of Oettinger. Really good save there. Big chance for Jason Robertson as he picked off a pizza in the high slot, walked in, took the shot. Gibson, really good save there. But the two plays, guys, were on the power play and the 5-on-3. It was actually part of the 5-on-4. Jamie Benn was called for a penalty on a breakaway that led to a 5-on-3. We'll get to that. But a 5-on-4 before that, Alex Killorn on a rebound at the left side of the crease, and we have a still shot for you. I was thinking that the Stars were going to come back in this one and win, and this was going to be that, game-changing moment. This is actually after he made the save. The puck is coming off his pad, but from this camera angle, Killorn was blocking the view of the puck when Jake actually made the save, meaning he was still at more of a stretch than you see right there. But this is the epitome of, look, Jake Oettinger was very good tonight. He didn't get the run support to get this win.
Yeah, I would say this doesn't surprise me anymore, to be totally honest with you, because Jake makes these saves all the time. Very rarely does he lose his net. I think he's become the goaltender. Not that he never was, and most recent, but I think he knows exactly where he is all the time. He knows where his distance is once he gets past that crease and that goal line. He knows how far he can stretch back, and so I think he knows exactly what he's doing in these things. And I think sometimes that a goaltender can even make it look like you've got an opportunity to put in there. Instead of going upstairs, they're just going to slide it past him. The next thing you know, his pad and his skate are right there tugged up against the post.
And then after that, Jamie goes off on a shorthanded breakaway, I knew he was going to do it, guys. I knew it. He loves that little backhand 5-hole where it looks like he's going to go around the goalie, try to open him up and slide it through. And it almost worked, but then he also took a penalty because of it.
I'm curious to hear what Lud says about this one too, but I thought this one was crap. I mean, what a play by Ben. Same with UO, and I thought it was going to slide right through, but I didn't hear a whistle. And if it was blown, it was blown very, very quietly and very, very late. And Gibson was trying to play that puck. He's trying to move it off the line to play it and keep the play going because they're on a power play. So it didn't feel like Jamie Benn come out and just trying to be a pest and annoy them. It felt like he was trying to score a goal with a puck that was like Gibson was basically, half cover, half let it go. And I'd go right after it too and do the exact same thing. And the puck goes in on that poke. So if that play, if it doesn't get whistled down, that ends up being a goal. I didn't think it. That's one of those. I think the officials should just say, you know what, that's our fault. We didn't blow it. Don't call a penalty on it to add to it. I just think that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, I see a player not quitting on an open play. I mean, all it was is going to be a little poke because you're right. We could see the puck. We could see the puck as Gibson's hand kind of came up and then it went back down. And I think that's exactly what Jamie saw. And he wasn't trying to spear him. I mean, there'd be some people trying to say he was trying to get him in belly. He saw an open puck and he saw the goal line a couple inches behind it and he was going to try to tap it in.
Two things happened after that because they got a brief 5-on-3. The Stars penalty kill completely shut them down. And that part of it is because their penalty kill is really good. The other part is Anaheim's power play is wretched. They have just not been good. They haven't scored in 4 straight games. They are 2-4. What they were tonight. They were 0-4-3. So they are 2 for their last 29 over the last 13 games, which is about 6%, which isn't very good. I'm surprised in some senses because they have so much skill. But Luddy, as you've talked about many times, just because you have individual skill on the ice does not make for a good power play.
No, and I think when you have too much skill and you don't have guys that want to go around the front of the net, you end up just trying to pass it around for 20, 30 seconds, and then they throw one at the net because they hear the fans booing. I thought they get spread out too. I mean, I think that they get one guy at a goal line, they get one defenseman up high, and then they get another guy on the other side of the ice. So they're spread out, and it's easy to kill. And you don't even have to be one of those kind of teams that force and in those situations, you're almost better off just saying, okay, just let them continue to move it around the outside, and once the puck bobbles or they do take a shot, that's when you go because you're killing your own power play off.
So Jamie goes to the box. They kill that off as well. He comes out of the box. Now that we're in the third period, there was an intermission in between part of this because it carried over and they score. And it was a beautiful play by Sam Steele to set up Colin Blackwell. Ben gets an assist as well. And that's the one thing that's been tough lately is Ben's been playing well, but hasn't been scoring after that run for about 20 games where he couldn't stop putting up points. But this was a really, really good play by Sam Steele and a nice effort play by Blackwell, who kind of makes up for his mistake in the first period.
Yeah, I love, first of all, the handle by Jamie Benn. You can hear him on the ESPN broadcast screaming for that puck as he comes out of the box, and he reaches out with one hand, basically handles a launching pass on the backhand and sets up Steele. And Steele's had a few of these. The New York assist to Thomas Harley to tie the game late comes to mind as the kind of monumental plays he makes, that whether it's effort on digging a puck out to get it to the Harley like he did in New York, or tonight he delays for a good 5 seconds to make sure Blackwell can get into that play. That's not excellent defending by whoever he was one-on-one with there, because he allows him to wait, pull up, spin around, delay even longer, and then get the pass through, and doesn't really defend any of those options. So great job by Steele. Not the best defending, but that's the fourth line in a nutshell right there. Steele making a great play, finding Blackwell or Beck or Smith, whoever else, going hard to the net, and that's a big goal.
You know, that goal and that hole that you talk about, Blackwell coming up through the middle of the ice, it's not even there unless Jamie Benn doesn't drive through the middle of the net. Like, once he drops that puck, Jamie drives right through the net. He takes that defenseman, moves him backwards like a foot or so, and then all of a sudden you see Blackwell just pop into that opening and just tap it in. But it was a great pass by Steele. Wasn't that a backhand pass by Steele too?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good play all the way around, and good on Blackwell. You know, he knew, and if you go back to that first goal that was given up when Colin brings it down deep into his end, as soon as that goal went in, he slashed the post. He knew exactly what he didn't want to do. He did.
It was about 2.5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than that, where the Ducks answered with a goal to take a 2-1 lead early in the third period. Still, at this point, when Zegras scored, it was 4:07. So they still had just a hair under 16 minutes to play to try to get back to 2-2. This was a really nice, I called it a chop tip at the crease, where Zegras is able to chop the puck right in front of the net. It was going toward the goal. He chops it up over Jake Oettinger. You don't see this kind of a play very often. He's extremely skilled. We all know Zegras has incredible stick skills. But was there anything the Stars didn't do well, Luds, on this play that you didn't like? Or is this just a good play?
Was there anything they did well?
Okay, so the two goals that were scored against Dallas tonight are characteristics of this team, of why they're really good, because they jump into the play, they get involved, they go hard offensively, and they do the same thing in their own zone. But the two characteristics that hurt them tonight is when you play man on man, they turn their back to the puck. And on this particular one, Thomas Harley is trying to get involved offensively, which we know that's what this team does. But sometimes you have to know the time and score. And it's 1-1, and he's trying to jump outside the zone. He's actually just getting to the offense, or his defensive blue line, heading north, and the puck turns over. And so I think, who was he out there with? Was he out there with Lyubushkin on that one? Yeah. So he was out there with
CC.
No, because Lyubushkin was off the ice and hurt.
Must have been CC. Yeah. Okay. So, and CC doesn't, CC's up on the guy that gets the puck that ultimately gets it behind him and chips it so Zegras can chop it into the net. And you see CC kind of turn around, and you see Zegras standing in the net all alone. And I promise you, he was thinking, where's my partner? Well, his partner was just about getting to center ice because he anticipated that puck was going to leave the zone. So you don't leave the zone until the puck does. Typically, are rules for defensemen, and they've changed for this club. And again, they create a lot of offense off of it. But sometimes I always say time and score. It's a 1-1 game. Maybe it hasn't been your best game. You pick your spots a little bit more.
Well, guys, the Stars would try to mount another comeback. They've only won one game this year when trailing going into the third period, and that record would continue tonight, as I did not have Dallas with a high danger chance after the second goal by Anaheim. They had some stuff from distance, but kind of like the first period, they never really got interior, and that is how the game ended. And we will let you talk about it, super chat it, and all things. You want to go wheels off crazy in the post-game show here on the Stars After Dark? We'll do that next.
Rugged Road. Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Our products are designed with the highest quality materials and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions. Whether you're on land or water, Rugged Road gear is built to accompany you on every adventure. One of the most unique features is its ability to always float upright. Crafted to handle the toughest environments, their coolers are built to last, ensuring they can keep up with any adventure. The coolers are guaranteed to keep their contents cool for up to 7 days. Perfect for a variety of outdoor activities from fishing and tubing to camping and tailgating, these coolers are designed to meet the needs of every outdoor or sports enthusiast. So gear up for your next adventure with Rugged Road coolers. Reliable, durable, and built to be used, Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head to ruggedroadoutdoors.com and use code DLLS for 10% off.
Is this on me now? All right. I was too busy trying to defend myself with
You guys were both in awe that I nailed it again. I think that's what the problem was.
That was good. That was so good. Now, lads, I'm going to talk about FOCO right
back.
The
good news is Owen's mic is muted. So
yeah, that was my fault. I had to cough for a second. I was waiting for Sam to read his ad read. We never let him go second. And look what he's doing, lads. He blew it again.
I was not. Oh, man, get out of town. All right, FOCO, get fitted in the best sports gear around. Hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, everything in between. Going to a basketball or a hockey game, show off your love with team-branded friendship bracelets, which I'm still waiting for from back in the fall. Whether jackets, beachwear, or even overalls, there's something for almost every fan on almost every occasion. Check out FOCO.com or click the link in the description below for all non-pre-sale items. You can use the promo code DLLS10 at FOCO.com. That's FOCO.com for 10% off.
All right, Sam, nice recovery. Let's get to it.
Appreciate it.
Chats, super chats, if you want to hit us up. I know it's late. I know that some of you might not be here tonight that you normally are because you went to bed. Although there's still plenty of people chirping Sam for his plumbing issues, which is no surprise. But we know Katya knew where the bing bong was. Let's get it started with our first super chat of the night belonging to T Farmer with a little Lundqvist and Heiskanen. Jake tried to hold us in this one, but the loss of D-men is getting old quick. Dumba continues to cost us goals by trying to take the body. Is it as simple as he's out of position trying to throw hits, or are there other problems?
You know what? I think sometimes it's over try. I think sometimes if you're trying to do a little bit too much because you're trying to stay in the lineup. But I think he's got to slow down a little bit. I think he's got to slow down and read the situations a few more times. And, you know, I don't know if he's concerned about trying to get a couple points in, for some stat wise. And I think he wants to be aggressive. And I think that's part of what he does. And I think you got to pick your spots a little bit better. And listen, if the whole turning your back on plays, I don't pin it on him completely. But I think there's times when maybe sometimes you have to abandon the system or the rules to be able to look around and not take yourself out of the spots you're supposed to be.
I would like to point out for anyone who didn't watch our show yesterday, Sam had some footage and one of our Twitter followers had some footage that we played of Luddy playing in the alumni game. And we were going to have Sean break it all down, but Luddy jumped right on top of him and started doing it for him. And it was hilarious. But
defending himself.
Craig had some good points. One of them was he went to the front of the net where he's supposed to, and he played, basically used some hockey sense to defend rather than just being brainless and saying, well, I've got my guy.
I know where they're ultimately going to want to come to. So I might as well just sit there and wait for him. So
especially when you got a winger up the wall that's going to chip it out for you when you need him,
Or if you have a converted goalie trying to play a board battle and getting it lost at his feet.
Well, that's the perfect time for your screen.
Uh-oh. I think he's frozen, and I think we're frozen to him.
Yeah, everything's going haywire. I'm okay here. We lost Luddy for a minute. Sam, are you good?
I'm good. I'm hanging.
Yeah,
See,
I
look
think
at that.
I think we lost Luds.
No decorations, plenty of Wi-Fi. Put it on a shirt.
I want to know what he was saying because I'm sure it was something hilarious. Did you hear any of it?
No, I just heard him say, "Get."
Oh, you just sounded like "Get ready, boys."
Yeah.
Oh, he's still frozen. So Cat will get him back online. I want to. Well, here he comes now. Maybe
Still talking the same way.
he just hasn't stopped. He's just waiting for somebody to actually respond. See, I told you at some point Stars After Dark would get a little silly. Cat thinks he's about to swear too.
Yeah, we can't put him on. We can't put him on while he's trying to figure it out because it'll be.
Oh, GM Ben
the
wants to
bleep
hop
button.
in on a line change. How about that? Someone get it to Luds. Get that service. I'm laughing at Allie. She said, "Is that how Sam picked Katie?" Quote, "I have decorations and Wi-Fi."
What else do you need?
Those are two
Full package.
very strong arguments in favor, right?
The full package.
Sam, I saw somebody, aside from chirping, that said you looked like you were somebody that wanted to buy a cooler, talking about, I think it was Russell asking you about defensive ice time. And so I will throw that out there. I'm trying to save on the other super chat until Luds gets back in here because, of course, he's going to want to talk about it. Alt F4 Luds. That's good too. What'd you think about how the Stars started to use their defense tonight, and then with losing Lyubushkin and what they ended up with? I mean, they were down to 5 there after that.
Yeah. It's no surprise to see Harley almost played like 27 minutes with Lyubushkin out and trailing the game. So you're putting him back out there almost every time you can. Lindell played a good amount. CC's actually third again in defenseman usage. I'm looking right now to see what that bottom pair played. Pretty low. There it is. Dumba. So Dumba played 17 minutes and Bishop played 7. So they both played 17. So compared to what that bottom pair would normally play, that makes sense for putting for losing a guy there. But this team just doesn't. For Lyubushkin, no update by the way. We've got from Robert Tiffin over in Anaheim. This team cannot afford to lose someone else. I mean, we just talked the pregame about how they have flexibility and now it feels like they have depth, but they're clearly not far away from being right back where they were. And that's why I think Jim is not done at this deadline, no matter what comes out with Lyubushkin.
There he
There's
is.
Luds.
He's waiting very patiently to be welcomed back to the show. Luddy, what happened to your internet service there?
I'm going to pretend I can't hear you yet. I'm sending you guys a message.
He's
What
sleeping.
did you? No, he's trying to text us or something.
Oh,
I gotta look it up.
Something bad.
No, he hasn't sent it to us yet.
I just wanted to make sure you guys got it. Okay.
Yeah, I know. We were just vamping for the last 3
got
minutes
it.
waiting for you to figure out your tech support. What were you saying? Because we were talking about, I made a joke about Marty Turco turning the puck over in the alumni game, and your connection went completely haywire.
I didn't hear that, but Marty does that all the time. But isn't it funny how Marty Turco was mic'd up with one of them great big microphone balls in front of his face and never got to say a word all day long? Never.
Did he really?
We got to get Lutz mic'd up next time.
I couldn't hear it because I wasn't there. What was he not? Because I remember when they mic'd him up in net when he used to play in goal, and he was talking the whole time.
Oh, he was great. Yeah, he was in shape then. This was a little different.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear him at all. I didn't hear a single thing from him.
Yeah,
I get it. You're saying he was too breathing too hard to be able to speak.
We were talking about before we did the interviews, before the game, the pregame, that was that when he did it in the All-Star game, they mic'd him up and he was like, "Oh, hold on guys, got to make this save real quick." And he like made a save on a breakaway and went right back into the conversation. Yeah. So he can maybe that's what they were looking for, but it didn't happen.
No, it didn't pan out.
He used to be, I mean, I'm sure he still is very quick-witted. Well, Luddy, while you were frozen, we still have another super chat to get to, but we also have people starting to throw out their favorite pickup lines. Allie wrote, "My go-to pickup line is, if you were a booger, I'd pick you first." That's just the way to start it.
Apparently I haven't missed much.
And then T Farmer said, "Mine was, Was capital meaning not currently. You seem to have dropped something there. Oh, it's your standards. Can I buy you a drink?
Oh man.
I love it. All right, let's go to the other super chat, Cat.
Bing bong.
Jordan, aka Talk Hockey with Me, with a little DeSmith and 99 Cup gear. Luds, this is right for you. Replace Dumbo with Carlson?
No. No, I'll keep Dumbo. We have enough offense back there. We have enough guys leaving the zone. And the good news is the guys that we have leaving the zone come back to the zone. So I think we can pass on that guy.
By the way,
where would he have been on that play where Zegras scored? Would he have already been in the offensive zone?
He'd have been at the offensive blue and just at the blue line waving his stick up there. He would have never even looked around.
Our buddy Ardell just joined the chat. He must be done calling into the Stars radio post-game show, and now he's ready. Although I believe that Ardell will listen to both our show and the ticket post-game simultaneously, which is insanely committed Stars fandom. I love it.
I can't even keep up to listening to you two.
Well, we know that. By the way, you guys can't hear it, thankfully, because I have a good microphone that really blocks out exterior noise. But in the vague periphery at the other end of the house, I've got 2 kids and a wife that are in bed right now. It's 1 a.m. But we didn't put our dogs in their crates, which are in my office. And so they're outside because we have a dog door, and I can hear 2 of them barking at 1 a.m. at something. And I'll bet you not only if anyone in the house can hear it, but the neighbors are probably upset with me right now too. So when this is done, we got to put out some fires.
We make friends with what we do here. I made a protein shake for the second intermission and forgot how loud blenders are when everyone's sleeping at midnight.
Speaking of making apologies, Lyle was in the chat making an apology, and we have to read this one. Lyle wrote, "I would like to apologize for being crass earlier. Y'all must understand that I'm the sole Stars fan in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, where it is 3:05 a.m. I am sour about the loss and kind of drunk."
Lyle went from public enemy number 1 to Lud's best friend with that comment right at the end there.
Yeah, he was carving us at the beginning of the post-game show, and then GM Ben was going after it, and then Ali said Lyle can blame it on the wine. Yes.
I haven't seen that shirt worn yet. I gotta get that. I gotta get Katie to put that on.
Hey, Luddy, GM Ben got off his wallet for a $2 super chat. That
Bing bong.
Be the old Darian Hatcher. And he said, if you were a puck, I'd always be chasing you. Oh, he had to get in his pickup line as well. How about that?
I think GM Ben is just regurgitating the money that's coming in and just sending it right back in.
It's just a never-ending loop, right?
Hey, GM Ben, go to sleep. 1 o'clock in the morning, man. What are you doing?
By the way, Kat sent me a message on our private side of the chat saying she feels left out, and I don't know why now. I'm completely confused because it was
just because she didn't get the text from Luds.
Oh, yeah. It's okay, Kat. He blamed us. Sam filled me in. Oh, okay. She got it. Yeah.
I reported it.
You did, and it was not what I would call show friendly.
No, nothing.
No, not at all.
It's so friendly.
Let's see.
My text to you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead, tell the fans.
No. You were just letting us know that you were available to be let back in, even though it's producer Kat who's the one that controls that.
Oh.
By the way, Ali sent a message earlier on the chat saying she was literally cry laughing and loves this, and said, "This show is honestly such a highlight for me. I genuinely look forward to it. The post game. Good." Because we don't even know what we're going to do sometimes, but we're here for it, right? Before we play Guess That Jukebox, we do have to do one more ad break. So let's do that. More super chats if you want. And we will. No, it's not you, Sam. We'll do that next here on the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show. Don't you love it? I have Sam do one new read in a different slot, and he loses his mind and figures he has to do them all. This is my diehard read. And look, I'm actually above it today. Right there.
Nice.
There's the QR code. Sam, try to point to it through. That's the wrong way. Still the wrong way. You got to change directions. You guys are pointing to the. No, you're pointing the wrong way.
Lutz is pointing the wrong way.
You both are. Oh my God! I can't wait for
what. I'm pointing. No, it must be our screens on this thing because I'm actually pointing at it.
On my
it's over here for you.
You guys are pointing. Switch hands. It looks terrible.
Over here for you.
There you go. For me now, you're pointing the right way. Who knows?
I think me and Lutz are switched on your screen.
We're pointing at the DLLS
actually look like. Use the QR code.
I'm
or
pointing
you
at
can go to the website, alldlls.com. Right now, it looks like you're pointing at me. But you need to go to the DLLS website or use the QR code. Sign up to be a diehard today. Not only can you be part of a wonderful community where our GM Ben says this is the dumbest show possible, which it may very well be, but you also get great benefits for being a diehard. One of them is a 20% off discount at our merchandise store. So you can get the hoodie that Sam is wearing now, which I hear is quite comfortable, but you can get that 20% off the list price on our merch store. Now you get a free t-shirt for each year that you sign up to be a diehard. We'll give you a promo code for a free t-shirt of your choice, but you can also get a discount on all the other merchandise. Sam had the hostage flag that he was using earlier tonight. You can get a discount on that.
Like that.
I believe Katya even put the link in our pregame show chat. She was on top of it. Let me tell you, now it might be a little late. It's past her bedtime. So we really appreciate her staying up late for us tonight. Plus, in addition to all the merch and all that jazz, you can get all the best articles that we have, including Tim Cato had a great piece on Luka that was diehard level. We got some great new diehards signing up just to read it. Sam has all sorts of great stuff on our site for Stars coverage along with Sean. We've got Clarence and Joe writing about the Cowboys. They're in New Orleans right now. And of course, Jeff writing about the Rangers. I can't believe that spring training is about to start. This seems like it seems too early, but here we go. How about that? Wow. Ben just said, I told Kat to go to bed. You guys are going to stay live until she gets to the office in the morning. If you think this is crazy now, oh boy. Anyway, there are so many reasons to be a diehard, and we hope you will consider helping to support our show, have all the extra access, and all that comes with it. And tomorrow is the first ever watch-along party. Stars coverage is not going to be part of this watch-along. It's Mavs Celtics at Cosm, and I believe they're in Boston because they were in Philly tonight, so they must be in Boston, right? They're not back in Dallas. That's my guess. I don't remember. There are a couple tickets left available. Go to the All DLS website. You can get 20% off the tickets as a diehard, and you should go to Cosm. It is a really, really cool venue to watch a game on TV like you're actually at a sporting event. It is unbelievably cool. Speaking of Stars After Dark, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, thanks, Kat. It's not tomorrow. It's only turning into Wednesday. I've lost it too. I forgot what day it was. It's Thursday's tomorrow. There we go. And by the way, you can hate the Mavs, be upset with their front office, and still go watch the party, support the DLS movement, and maybe Luddy will show up with that helmet. Kirsten, if you were upset, she just wrote, is this what happens after midnight here? If you were upset for staying late for that game, this is your Frank the Tank moment to maybe make it feel a little bit better.
What is that?
I'm out of beer.
Well, Luds, as your buddy Bob Uecker once said, looks like I'm sitting in the front row. Did you ever meet Bob Uecker?
Never did.
Really?
No.
Famous NHL player from Wisconsin, the Milwaukee Brewers announcer for what felt like 50 years. That surprised me.
The answer is still no, I never did.
That's a bummer. I bet you would have enjoyed that too. He seemed like a really fun guy.
Very much so.
All right. Baby. Let's talk about man of the match today. I know it's not an easy one in a 2-1 loss, but Luddy, who's your man of the match?
I'm gonna I'm taking Gibson. I said this to you guys before, and I don't know if anybody can check this. I think there's only, or again, I told Owen, I thought I heard a few years ago that there had been only 3 goaltenders that have won their 5 or got a win in one of their 500 games. And it was Brodeur, Patrick Roy, and Fleury, which would have meant, if that's true,
Number
Gibson
4 tonight
would be number 4. But I don't know how you somebody can Google it or whatever. See if
I'm
that's
going to look it up real quick if they have it in the NHL.
That's going to be a
stats
hard
for
one to
tonight.
find, though. No, isn't that? Well, I guess not. You just both you guys are like.
They have him. He's the first goalie in Ducks franchise history to appear in 500 games. He's also the 10th American goalie to reach that milestone and 3rd active behind. Which 2 American goalies have more games played than John Gibson that are
Well, I'm
currently
guessing
active?
one of them played in Buffalo. And
No,
currently
active.
is
Active.
one of them Barrasso?
No,
Hellebuck.
active.
Oh,
Hellebuck
active.
and Oettinger.
No, Oettinger hasn't played 500 games.
500 games.
Yeah.
We literally talked about him yesterday.
I would say one of them played for the LA Kings at one point. Now he's probably with the Rangers.
Just had his 400th career win. It's
Yeah,
Jonathan
That was 400
Quick.
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, he has played. Hold on, I had it up just now. He has played 797 games. Whew.
It's a Hall of Famer.
I agree. A couple of Stanley Cups, all that stuff that he's done. Ooh, how about this? GM Ben, better all-time Duck, Teemu Solani or Charlie Conway?
Who?
Charlie
Mighty
Conway.
Ducks.
But he's not. Charlie Conway is just the guy who scores the right goal at the right moment. He's not the best of all time. Like you give
Adam
that to one of the you give it to Banksy or maybe even Julie the Cat.
No, she's not even a Duck. She's a Bangor Ram.
But she came in to play for the Ducks, and that's a huge part of that tournament. And then D3, she takes over the starting role. You know,
They weren't the Ducks then either.
The franchise. No,
Luds, did you ever watch the Mighty Ducks movies?
I believe I watched the first one at some point. I don't remember all the things them names you guys are talking about.
The second one is where a bunch of the kids from that Pee Wee team join up with others from around the country to play for the Junior Goodwill games for Team USA. But then in the middle of the championship, the gold medal game, they changed jerseys from USA jerseys to Mighty Ducks jerseys and decide to rebrand mid-game.
They rebrand mid-game. Their goalie switches to his pads and pretends to be a goalie to get a slap shot. And Mike Modano is in that movie. And
no,
who's
first
the other
one.
guy?
Basil McRae and Mo were in the first one.
That was Basil McRae.
Oh, is that right?
No, I thought they were in the first one.
There is a great line
McRae,
in the of Mike Modano talks about this. He's told this on a couple of occasions where he was supposed to be North Star player number 1 and have more lines than Basil McRae, and he couldn't get his script right. He couldn't get his lines out. And he said he did so many bad takes that they finally took a break and decided that Basil was going to be the one to read the lines instead.
Amazing. I also learned from Modano's, I think it was that same podcast he talked about. I didn't know that North Stars switched to that jersey before moving here. The regular like Stars logo jersey they're wearing there. Because
that was what your last year in Minnesota, right? It was just the generic Stars jersey instead of North Stars, right, Luds?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't listening.
No, you were playing for that team.
You were on the team.
Do you remember when you played for Minnesota and they got rid of the N and just said Stars for that last year? It was basically right before the team was going to leave.
Okay.
It was that same logo you used in Dallas, but it didn't say Dallas, obviously.
Our last year, we didn't have the N on their jerseys?
Nope. Not on the crest. Anyway.
It's good to know.
Important stuff.
So as going back to our man of the match, I completely agree. It's Gibson. He was fantastic tonight. Really nice sort of tip of the cap to him in his 500th game. We now look ahead because I don't think there's much more to say. We do not have an update on Lyubushkin. That was the classic. Pete DeBoer says no update. So
stop. Owen, did you notice? I asked Sam this. I want to know if anybody noticed do we still have anybody on besides us three?
No, yeah, their chat's still flying away.
Okay. Did anybody notice when they got a shot of Lyubushkin walking down the bench to exit, that one of the players fell off the top of the bench that was sitting there?
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that either? I don't know if anybody else saw it.
Well, did you see who it was?
No, that's why I want to know who it was, because they fell off on their left shoulder and just rolled over on the ice.
Sam's going to try to find it.
He was turning to his left.
So I watched that video as they were broadcasting it on the ESPN Plus broadcast, and they said, well, he got hurt in the second period, hasn't played the entire third, and watch this. And all we saw was him walk down the bench and go down the tunnel.
But he was in a hurry.
That's what we're looking for.
To me, he was in a hurry. And it wasn't his foot or his ankle or his knee, because he was moving. He was pushing guys away. I thought maybe he was getting sick. I thought he was sick.
I wonder. Or, I mean, they said something about equipment. There's not a terrible guess, but I was waiting to see in the video that it would actually say, you'd actually see.
Show his injury.
He's holding an arm. He's limping a little bit. It was more just watching him push guys out of the way down the bench.
Yeah,
he really had to go to the bathroom.
He needed to get there quick.
He had to do the Sam and go destroy some plumbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would have been back.
Like Kirsten has it right, quote unquote Sam issues.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's why these remote shows are great. I can disappear and you guys don't even know.
All right, so we are just about done with tonight, but I did want to ask you about the rest of this week. So they have 2 days off. This is the lightest part of their schedule because they don't have to play a game until Friday, and then they have a back-to-back. They in LA and then at San Jose, which isn't a terrible trip, but it's longer than the Anaheim to LA trip.
We used to look forward to these trips.
Why?
California. And you always had a couple days off. We would always come a couple days early or a day early, then you'd have a game or two or day in between. So
yeah, they're golfing tomorrow.
Yeah,
are they?
Yeah, I talked to Jake a little bit. I'm doing a phone interview with Jake for a little special thing I'm doing during the Four Nations break. But he said they're golfing tomorrow, I think, over in Orange County. It's actually colder there than it is here, so he was pretty bummed about that.
It was kind of chilly today. It was supposed to be. I was at a JV soccer game about 50 degrees with a nice cold wind chill going on. That didn't feel like Southern California.
That's going to be 82 tomorrow here. So,
well, I guess I'll welcome that for early February. The team will, I'm guessing, practice the following day, and then they'll play back to back. Luddy, would you go with Oettinger again for the LA game and then have Casey play in San Jose? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Especially with the 2 days off.
Well, and LA's a stingier team, and you know what I mean? Like their goals against are going to be down there. And so I expect it to be a tighter hockey game. So
did you guys see somebody in the chat talking about Joe Pavelski? Ding. Did you guys happen to see that Pavelski won the LPGA Pro-Am that he was in over the past weekend?
LPGA?
Yeah, there was some event down, I believe, in Orlando where it was a combination of LPGA golfers and celebrities or athletes or something like that. Sam, were you aware of Pavelski's golfing victory over the last weekend?
I was. Only because of Sean. Sean let me know that he was playing it, and then that he won. I mean, he's all I've heard from people around this team is how good he was at golf and how angry it made them that he was so good at everything that he did. So it doesn't surprise me. The guy, I think Jake actually told me this summer that he thinks this Joe Pavelski's future is an NHL GM or a professional golfer on the tour. Those are his two
like
options.
The Champions Senior Tour.
Yeah.
So he won. I think he won the whole tournament. Pretty sure it was a pro-am, but no surprise there. So love to see Joe continuing to do well. Sam, apparently you left out of nowhere. I have to do our TV disembark. Thanks to everyone who joined on our television platforms. Make sure to like and subscribe here on the pod and check out alldlls.com. Okay. We have one more super chat and then we can wrap this one up because it is late.
Bing bang.
T Farmer with a little Brendan Smith, and year after the cup run, it could be Hatcher, it could be Hakanpää, it could be Jyrki Jokipaka. Sam, let's give you a break.
Hughes.
Give us a diss on Owen. Let me have it.
Me?
That's what the super chat says. You don't have to do
Oh,
anything.
man.
See, there's the plumbing again.
How to think of just one. No, I really don't have any.
Hey, Ludge, I don't know if you saw in the
Ludge,
chat
you got
earlier.
something.
In the chat earlier, somebody said, "Can we get Sam's demon voice back?" That seemed to help the team win a game.
I went back and listened to that podcast. That was pretty funny.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we say goodnight on this one? I think Ludge checked out as soon as he put the helmet on.
I think Owen kind of has a big head.
Thanks.
Good night.
That's a great way to end.